Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So I'm going to talk about the influences on modern period Irish glass. Yes, because I bought this monster. It's not the kind of thing I normally buy, and it's a real look back in history in the design of this. I don't know who the designer is. I think this pattern's called Glendore, and if I remember rightly, it was made from 1976 onwards. And yeah, it's got like layers of historic features built into this this pedestal bowl. And I thought, as I said, it's not what I normally buy, but it was so cheap. It was a charity shop. I didn't know. It's got a mark on it somewhere, but I looked at this motif here and went, very Irish looking. So I want to explain why that. I thought that was very Irish looking before because normally I just walk by something like this, but I didn't in this case. I picked it up, yeah, and had a good look and went, yeah, it's marked. I'm having that for £15, that huge lump of glass. So anyway, don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I've got it now and I can use it for a film. So that's perfect. Anyway, so let's get on and have a closer look at it, and I will show you where the influences came from by showing you bits of my collection, of course. Anyway, so let's get on and have a look at the glass. So whilst I'm building up the courage to pick this thing up, yeah, underneath it's got fairly standard star cutting. It's not like what I would expect from period Irish ones, but yeah. But then it's got these little panels cut into the edge of the foot. Now this is something I've seen on some sweetmeats from about 1750, which is too early, but also I've seen it on something later that I have that I would count as Anglo-Irish, so I can show you that. Also then we've got like this little step here where the foot is, and then we've got panel cut foot underneath here, and I can show you another Anglo-Irish piece that has that. And then we've got some step cutting just here, some hobnails in a band, a little bit more step cutting. Then we have this wheat husk design, which is a very Irish. I mean, other people have used it. I think Stuart Crystal used it on the Arundel pattern, but yeah, it's a very Irish thing. And then we've got some milling here around the edge. So let me, oh my god, it's a long way off. That's the problem. I'm having to reach over. Here we go. So let me show you in closer. This is the milling. This is the wheat husk here. So a little bit of step with just a couple. Then there's a bit more step cutting here. There's the bottom border for this. And then here is the stem. Look at that. That's a very kind of early 19th century looking stem. There's the little panel. Can you see the little panels coming here? I'm balancing it on my hand there, so I don't really like doing that, but there we go. And then star cut base, which is a very standard Irish. I think I know why it's a fairly standard one. If I show you some of my early Irish glass that where this kind of like panel of this would have what kind of cutting that would have, you'd go, oh yeah, not very commercial. They would just take forever. You know, I don't know how many cuts they put in the bottom there, maybe about 20. But when you say, oh yeah, you're going to need 50 cuts in the base, yeah, that's starting to look a bit expensive to do. Anyway, I've shown you this. I'll just push this to the side a little bit and I'll start dragging in some other pieces. So I've got these two pedestal mounted urns. They're from the beginning of the 19th century. Get the right one. And let me get these lids out of the way because we don't want them don't try and not focus, because that can be a pain. So look at this one first. I'll show you. This is what I'm showing you to demonstrate the foot. Can you see the panel cutting on it? If I'm trying to, yeah, you can see it there where it catches the light. That matches what's on the foot of the. I think if you look underneath, look at the wear and tear on there. This is where it actually touches the table, and it's completely matte, and it's got a big polished pontil, so no star cutting. But yeah, and the foot is kind of, it is a three-piece, so you've got a step here, but you haven't got very much of a step here. But you do have these cut panels. Whereas this one is closer, the stem is closer, as in you've got this little step here, and a step here, and although this is square base, yes, there's still loads of wear, demonstrating it's a really period piece. Now, these are all made in the same way, in that top is blown, then the stem is added, and then the foot is added onto the bottom of that. So they're all like a three-piece, you know, 3 blobs of glass to make them. One blown one, then a bit added, and then a bit more added, and they're shaped as they go along. So yeah, made in a traditional way. This is just a different scale, but made in the same way. So now we're going to look at this band of hobnails with a little cut band here and a cut band here. And I'm going to start with this glass. So I bought this in Ireland, and yeah, has a very similar looking, with a cut band here and a cut band here. I did mention about the star cut base, and yeah, this is like a different scale of cutting. That wouldn't be commercial in modern times to cut like that under the foot, which is probably as intense of cutting this, you know. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any modern cut glasses done like that. But yeah, the way this band of hobnails done, with the way it's enclosed and everything, is exactly the same as this bowl. And we have a similar thing going on. Let me take the stopper off so I don't drop it. You stay there. So, got a similar band, cut band there, enclosing the band of hobnails, which are all about the same size as the one on the bowl in the background. This pattern here with the pillar cut and fine hobnails in between, or sometimes not so fine hobnails. This is a very Irish pattern. There's a service bought by the Marquis of Bute, I think it is, that has this kind of same thing. And again, look at the base. Look at it. Yeah, that's a very kind of Irishy thing. And that the other bowl does not emulate that, because that would just be manpower intensive, very manpower intensive. And the stopper's been cut to emulate it, in that it's got, on a smaller scale, alternating bands of fine hobnails and pillar cutting. So yeah, there you go. So we're up to here now. We'll look at this next. So next we're going to look at this wheat husk design, and I thought, I can't always just bring in decanters, can I? So I brought this in. I think it's a butter dish or something like that. Can you see? Now the fact that the comb cutting is loose really puts this possibly pre-1800 or about 1800, the you know, because they've tried to do minimal cutting here, shallow diamonds and everything on the top. But yeah, it's, have a look at, but there's the pattern that I was talking about. If I can get it to focus on the pattern. So, and then I'll pull this one in. Here's another decanter. So this is probably about 1800 because it's got quite a lot of coating on it, but there's your husk pattern. And you can see this is a dip molded decanter. You normally date these 1783 to 1800, but I think this is at the back end of that just because it's this Prussian shape, which is a slightly later shape, and got, you know, just the overall look of it, and the stopper, which is actually looks cut but it's not, it's pressed. But anyway, and then I've got this one, which is an earlier decanter. If I can winch it. I have to get quite far away for this. And this has the wheat husk design as well. It's another dip molded one, possibly be able to Belfast because it's got these two bladed neck rings. Yeah, and this would be a late 18th century one. So this pattern came into use early in the classical Irish period, which is that sort of like 1783 to 1850. But anyway, this is the pattern it's emulating. And this, I mean, you saw this tight cutting on the bottom of those two other pieces, really, and even on here, look. Yeah, so there we are. This is the influences on this this pedestal bowl. Let's copy all of these early. It's just they've tried to put it together in a balanced way, and I think they've done a decent job. When you look at how this is done, where you've got different patterns running up, and this one here, you've got this one here and this one here. And the other ones, you can see the patterns come in layers. When you've got horizontal layers like this, it's really kind of very end of the Georgian period and into the Regency period. So there you have it. It's just, I'm trying to talk about how to read glass sometimes. Yeah, and especially if you've got something like Waterford, who's looking back in time quite often. Although I'm not always that keen on all the Waterford patterns. This one's kind of like, it's not bad because it's got that historical bent to it. It's not just making up a bunch of crisscross patterns that don't mean anything to anybody. And I could have brought in more pieces. I mean, just like, yeah, in fact, I'm going to bring in more pieces. Look, this is on my desk here, and this is a Irish perfume bottle, and check it out. You got your band of hobnails on here, and again, you've still got this alternating pillar cut, and then it's not fine hobnails, but it's just an alternating pillar cut. And then I've got another one here. And so this is almost exactly like one that's in Irish Glass Book. And look at that fine cut base. Yeah. So, yeah, so I could have just started pulling things out all over the place. But in fact, no, that's a different one. So yeah, I even have a pedestal salt boat with the wheat husk on as well as other bits and pieces. But anyway, you get the idea. If you learn the different patterns, and yeah, not the crisscrossy ones don't do anything for me, because it's just like someone's trying to create a formula for trying to keep something slightly different from other things. But when you're seeing historical patterns being reenacted like this and put together in, well, I think, quite a nice way, yeah, it looks good. Looks to my eye, because I've got an interest in Irish glass. As soon as I saw it, I went, looks Irish, even though I could see it was modern. And anyway, I didn't use any references for this video. Unusual for me. I could start pulling things out and going, look at this and look at it, but I won't do that. And or showing you the Glendore pattern in replacements.com, because it is there if you want to have a look, because there's like a whole plethora of glasses and bowls and decanters and bits and pieces that go with it, and jugs, and just, it's just a full range, because they've made it for quite a long time. And I think there's lots of, so I don't know how long they made this particular bowl for, but there's a full range of things that they probably started and discontinued depending on how they sold. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. Please remember to like and subscribe, because it helps my channel. I'm still on the goal to take over the world. Maybe not, but I'm trying really hard. And have a good night. Good night.